Lethbridge has ghost tales. Unexpectedly dying following a routine appendectomy haunts Lethbridge's Galt Museum, previously the hospital. The Bowman Arts Centre, previously the Bowman School, has a ghost of a molested Chinese girl in the ladies' restroom. The oldest Western Canadian theatre, Fort Macleod's Empress Theatre, is said to contain a ghost. Alberta has more brutal deaths than ghosts. Whoop-up country was 1869, 1874, Lethbridge. Blackfoot traders on the Oldman and St. Mary's rivers obtained firewater liquor, repeating rifles, and other products from American merchants. Firewater, a nasty concoction of American whiskey, river water, chewing tobacco, Jamaica ginger, blackstrap molasses, red pepper, lye soap, red ink, and strychnine, killed many Indians. Others who traded everything for alcohol died from starvation or weather. Many died in whiskey-fueled family and friend fights. The 1870 Lethbridge Belly River battle killed hundreds of Indians. A terrible smallpox pandemic occurred in 1869. Lethbridge and the Great Plains were plagued with smallpox in 1837-1838, which the Blackfoot recalled. After burying their final dead in 1838, the Blackfoot called the location Akainiskwi, meaning many died. In 1850s grasslands east of the Cypress Hills, 7 blood warriors stole Cree horses. The party was led by young, affluent, courageous Heavy Collar. The party returned home after discovering nothing in southwest Saskatchewan's plains. They followed Bull's Head Creek, now Ross Creek, west through the Cypress Hills to Medicine Hat on the South Saskatchewan. Heavy Collar said he would discover friendly blood camps and horses to bring back for his pedestrian friends while camping on a hill overlooking Seven Persons Creek, which meets Bull's Head Creek before flowing down the river. His comrades would meet him at Belly Buttes, the western foot of the Blood Summer campsite, without horses. Heavy Collar moved west upriver. By Cutbank, he killed one of 3 buffalo. He wrapped the corpse and loaded most of the meat onto his horse, leaving the remainder for his pals. Eaten fire-roasted meat. Knowing the risks of solitary travel, he left his tent and traveled upriver at night, leaving the fire blazing. If ambushed, his flames would kill. Heavy Collar carefully hid his tracks upriver before Lethbridge. The moon guided him to a nearby coulee's soft grass for camping. Blood stayed up 24/7. While sleeping, he heard something odd. Nothing emerged from darkness. He believed a daring opponent was generating difficulty. Fearing scrutiny, he carried a gun. Heavy Collar was startled to find himself sleeping beside a Blackfoot woman's bones in the morning. The blood warrior thought her arrival meant death. Heavy Collar crossed the river scared. Late today, storms developed. Heavy Collar slept after a downpour. He settled on a river island after building a shelter and lighting a fire. He heard an owl whistle amid the rain and lightning. Blackfoot regarded owls dangerous. Blackfoot legend says ghosts speak like owls at night. Cold, hefty collar. While hiding, Heavy Collar heard something unusual. Through the woods. It became closer as I listened. The sounds came from someone traversing the flames outside his shelter. Heavy Collar shook. The fire ended tall and thin. White. Covered. It stretched its long, skeleton legs toward the fire to warm itself. "Who are you?" Heavy Collar muttered. A few neck hairs stood on end, and cold perspiration ran down his back. Silent figure. He felt its long, bony legs. While holding his firearm, Heavy Collar pulls back with white knuckles. "Who are you?" he repeated. "Tell me, human. Ghost, depart gently." That guy remained mute. Again, it extended its pale, skeletal legs at him. Heavy Collar targeted. He said, "You won't speak or leave. Perhaps this will dissuade you." He fell into darkness shot. A frightening cry was heard by Heavy Collar. Ghost Lady shouted, "Heavy collar! You shot me! There's no hiding from me!" Too much for daring young. Heavy Collar raced all night in the rain after wading to shore. Before sunrise, he saw the Belly Buttes, where he would meet pals. He slept under a cottonwood, exhausted. He woke up rejuvenated after hours of relaxation. He thought he defeated the Ghost Lady at Belly Buttes. Friend of Heavy Collar defended adjacent hills. 6 Bloods gathered at Belly Buttes before their lord. 2 individuals approached the Belly Buttes from afar, so the Indian called pals. Heavy Collar emerged as Bloods approached. A lady, following. Perhaps their monarch abducted a wife from another tribe. The Bloods chuckled. Heavy Collar considered keeping or giving her. They smiled as the warrior and his female companion descended a coulee. The other side had a thick collar. Friends climbed. "Heavy Collar, where's your woman?" A courageous questioned, pointing to the lowest coulee. "Taking her away?" "Where did you find her?" inquired another. "What tribe is she?" Heavy Collar feared the ghost woman's pursuit. He informed his pals about his terrifying ghost experience the night before. Bloods trusted him. They investigated the coulee. After the unusual lady went, moccasin footprints were on the muddy coulee bottom. His story was believed. While journeying, 7 Blackfoot met a tiny blood gang, stayed overnight. That night, Heavy Collar dreamt about the white ghost. She condemned his shooting. She advised against being shot or taking an opponent's pistol in combat. The spirit forbade him from returning to her bones. That curse haunted Heavy Collar forever. No one resisted his war parties, never fired or caught. Blood refused to fight or raid with Heavy Collar, believing he had poor medicine. Heavy Collar fought for chiefdom his entire life. Prior to Heavy Collar, Montanans traded alcohol from Oldman River locations. Heavy Collar's band traveled to these liquor forts because the Bloods enjoyed them. Old Indian couldn't return to Whoop-Up country, where he discovered Ghost Woman's bones. This tired old warrior led them. The blood party landed safely, and the men changed buffalo robes in a whiskey fort. After dealing that night, some young blood warriors became intoxicated. Many fired their new repeating rifles to celebrate. Drunkenly, Blood shot the camp randomly. After being shot in the back, Heavy Collar died quickly. Phantom Lady avenged.